Hi, you're welcome to our SPSS and Statistics training program. Today, we are looking at descriptive statistics and chart options for continuous variables in SPSS. My name is Williams and I'll be your instructor. Let's link up on Say Africa on YouTube and Facebook and Say Africa 1 on Twitter and IG. In running descriptives for your dataset, the most important question to ask is about the kind of variable involved. In our previous video, we looked at the various types of variables you may get in our dataset as displayed on your screen. In that video, we focused on categorical variables by looking at the descriptive options available for categorical variables and also the chart options. If you have any difficulty regarding the descriptives and chart options available for categorical variables, you may refer to our previous video. In this video, we are going to focus on numerical variables. Let's get started. Alright, we are back on the SPSS screen. We can see a number of variables entered here. If you have difficulty entering and then coding, you may refer to our previous videos. So you have variables such as age, speed, height, exam score. So these are continuous variables. Look at the value column. We have none, 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 none. It means that the researcher is not applying any form of groupings to these variables, so they are continuous. You can also look at their measure. It is all scale. So here, no forms of groupings are applied, and we are looking at the numerical values of these variables. So age, you just enter the age of the respondent, as you can see on your data view, 15, 19, 54. We are not applying any form of grouping here. So these continuous variables would have different set of options when we talk about descriptives and chart options. We have a number of continuous variables. We can talk about salary, you can talk about height, weight, and a number of them. Maybe your quiz score can also be recorded as a continuous variable. So if you have variables like this and you want to run descriptives, let's see how we go about it. So as usual, we go to analyze. Descriptives is here, and let's see, we have two options. Now let me go here first. So let me go to descriptives first. You click on it and the options come. Let's say we want to, let me change the names and display the names rather. Let's say we want to run descriptives for any of these continuous variables. Let's pick one of them, exam score. I push exam score to the variable column and I go to options. Now, because it is continuous variable, we can run means, standard deviations, median, and so on. Note that when we had categorical variables, it was not meaningful that we ran means and standard deviations and median, because those variables respondents into categories, so it doesn't make sense when you say you are finding mean. But here, because no categorizations are applied, it is meaningful when we say we want to find the mean, when we want to find the median, and so on. So there are a number of things here. You look for the ones that you want to get and check them. So I want mean is checked, standard deviation, minimum, maximum. If you want sum, so it means you're going to add all the values under the variable you have selected. If you want variance, you check it. If you want range, you check it, and so on. Ketosis and skewness are also here. If you need it, you can check, but you may want to read about them. Ketosis will talk about how flat the distribution is. The top is, and then skewness will talk about whether there are outliers, whether it is skewed to the left or right. You may want to read about that to get more insights on that. So I've checked the things I want. I click on continue and okay. Let's see what comes up. So it has conducted a very nice descriptives for me. So N is 27. It means that data was collected from 27 people, and then range is 98. That's the difference between the minimum value and then the maximum value. And then sum. So when we add all the scores, we are getting 1616.00, and the mean is 59.85, standard deviation and then variance. So when you take square root of the variance, you get standard deviation and so on. These are also talking about how spread the data is and so on. So you may want to read about specific measures like the mean, the range, and so on, and see how you would interpret it. Maybe in our subsequent videos we'll look at the interpretation for all this, but for now we are looking at how to get them out of your data. So it means that the first option has given us a number of things which may be relevant to us in our description of the data we collected. Now if you want to also run, there's another option. So the other option is analyze descriptive. Now we are not going to the second one here, we are going to frequencies, but look at this. So we push the exam score again to that place and we go to statistics. It also gives us a number of options. So we have quartiles, cutoff point, percentiles, and then the mean, median, mode, sum are also here. Now let me take them one after the other. Let's say you are interested in quartiles. So quartiles are special percentile. So we know first quartile to be the 25th percentile, second quartile to be 50th percentile, which is the same as the median, and then the third quartile to be 75th percentile as well. So in effect, quartiles are also percentiles, but they are special percentiles because they divide the distribution into 4 equal parts. They have been given special names as Q1, Q2, Q3. So if you're interested in finding quartiles, you check the quartiles. Now look at this. Let me talk about this first. If you check quartiles or if you take quartiles, it means that you have catered for 25th percentile, 50th percentile, which is the same as the median, and then 75th percentile. It means that in case you are interested in percentiles, you don't have to enter 50th percentile like this. It means you are giving double command because 50th percentile is catered for in the quartile, which is Q2. But if you're interested in other percentiles, not including 25th percentile, which is Q1, 50th percentile, which is Q2, and 75th percentile, which is Q3, then you may want to add those percentiles here. So let's say I'm interested in the 12th percentile. I add it and I click on add. It means that it is going to calculate 12th percentile as part of Q1, Q2, Q3, which is 25, 50, and 75th percentiles. So I do that. Let's say I'm interested in 99th percentile. I add it. Whichever number of percentiles you want, you just enter and add them. Now we have mean here, median here, mode here, sum. If you want them, you do that. And then standard deviation, variance, range. So you select the ones you want, not that you have to check everything. Skewness and ketosis, we'll talk about how flat the top, that is the ketosis, and how long the tails are, whether there are outliers in the distribution or not, and that is skewness. So I click OK, values are grouped, midpoints, and so on. You may want to explore so that you can get more insights on these things, but I'm giving you the basics so that you can also practice and also be a master for yourself. So click on continue. I've checked all the things I want. Let's see what comes up. All right, and so on. Okay, let me talk about the charts as well. So there is a chart option here. Note that for continuous variables, we cannot put them on a bar chart. I highlighted on this when we're doing for categorical. And then we can also put continuous variables on pie chart. We can put it on histogram. So the bar and the pie are for categorical variables. The histogram is for continuous variable. But when you check the histogram, you see that this one got activated. So we can select it. It means that we want the system to superimpose a normal curve on the distribution so that we'll be able to know whether it is skewed or not, whether it is skewed to the left or right. We may take time to explore skewness to the left and right, or positive and negatively skewed, and then normal distribution, whether it is approximately normal and so on. So I've checked the normal distribution, that I want the system to superimpose normal distribution curve on it. So I click on continue, and okay, let's see what comes up, and it's going to be very interesting. So it's calculating. Let's wait for it. All right, a number of things come. N is 27, no missing, mean is here, median, mode, standard deviation, variance, skewness, and so on. You may want to read about these particular measures and see how they can be explained for your works, and also you get insights into how your data looks like. So all of them are coming. So we did impose a normal curve, and it looks like it is skewed to the left. So it means that there is a long tail towards the left. It means that there is a small number down there, and most of the numbers are pushing towards the right. You may want to read about it to get insight on left skewed and right skewed, but we may tackle it in one of our subsequent videos. All right, let me try it on the other continuous variables and see. So analyze descriptives. I go to frequencies. So I've done for exam score. Let me do for the others. So I've pushed all the continuous variables together. I just want to try it for you to see. Chart, okay. I will select histogram and check the normal curve. Click OK, and then statistics. I check the ones I want. Let's say I'm interested in finding other percentiles apart from Q1, Q2, Q3, which are 25, 50, and 75. So let's say I want to find the 66th percentile part, and I want to find the 79th percentile as part, and so on. So whichever percentiles you want, you enter, and so on. I click continue, and okay. Let's see what comes up. Very nice thing. Okay, so this is where my interest is. So we can see that apart from the mean, standard deviations, and all the things we checked, it has also superimposed the normal curve on it. This looks, it's almost normal, so you may say approximately normal. But look at this. This is skewed to the right, positively skewed, and this is also approximately normal, and so on. So you end up getting a very good description of how the data looks like, and you may want to read about how to interpret it, but we may also tackle it in our subsequent videos. You can explore to get more knowledge on this. Let's look at how we can also put continuous variables in other ways. Let's say box and whisker plot. So let's say we want to put our continuous variable also on a box and whisker plot. That is also another way we can also present our continuous variables. So we go to graphs, a number of them here. These are box plot. Click OK. Let's say we want to do a simple box plot. You check the summaries of separate variables and then define. So you push whichever variables you want to put on a box and whisker plot. Let's say I want to do that for exam score. Let me do one before I do multiple. So exam score is in, then I click OK. So it's going to summarize the exam scores into a 5-point summary. 5-point summary. So look at this. We can see that, so on a box and whisker plot, the list is this. So this is the minimum value, that's 0. The maximum value is a little below 100. The median is the deep line. Q1 is this one, which is around 41, 42. Q2 is the deep line, which is the same as median, and Q3 is this part of the box. So it is summarizing the data under the exam score into a 5-point summary. And we can see that the down part of the diagram is longer than the top. It means that the data is skewed to the down, and that is the left side of the distribution. And that is the same thing we saw when we did for exam score. We saw that it was skewed to the left. Let's go back and check exam score. Exactly. So it is skewed to the left. That is why the box and whisker plot also is skewed to the left. That's the left is the down part. It could have also been on a horizontal display, and we will see that this part will be on the left. So you can explore. There are several ways. All right, let's say I want to also compare all of them and put all of them on the same graph using box and whisker plot. Then I go to graphs, I select box plot. It is still simple. Summaries of separate variables. Because I want to compare all, I'll push all of them into the variable box. Then I click OK. All right. So we can see that all the 4 variables have been represented on the screen. So it is giving a clear view as to the range. So look at this. The minimum of the exam score is from 0. The maximum is almost 100. But look at where the age is. So the maximum age is not even up to 80. 65 up to 70 thereabout, because it is around here. And the minimum is above 0. So it's around 10, 11, and so on. So you can see the median for each of them, where the deep line. So this is the most clustered variable, the height. The minimum is between 30 and the maximum is less than 40. So it looks a little compact and so on. So we can use these descriptives to also explore how our data looks like. So we can see that the height is positively skewed because the top part is longer than the down part, and then this is approximately normal, and so as this, but this is left skewed. So whilst the exam is left skewed, the height is right skewed, and so on. So we can use this to explore and get a lot of information about the data, and then we can also discuss. But know that we are still describing, so it is still descriptives. All right, you may want to explore to get more insight. In our next video, we are going to look at inferential statistics. Don't forget to subscribe so that we can work together and learn together and achieve our goals.